Well, it's a Sunday afternoon in the garden after a lot of rain last night and most of the day today. So I'm coming out for the first time after being holed up in the house. It's 5 o'clock, and notice that the chickens have taken up residence. They always make their patrol through here. I say it's so that they can pick out the bugs that are hurting our plants. Although they probably scratch up more than the bugs do to eat the plants. It looks like the tomatoes are beginning to come along. We picked our first red tomato yesterday, which would be around the middle of July, basically. We planted late. And she likes to stagger the planting, so I think she's got this last bed finally planted, but this will be one of the later groups of veggies that we'll be getting out of the garden. I have no idea what all this stuff is, or I know what a tomato is, but there's tomatoes right there. But Jeannie's the one that knows about this. There's something here that's going to climb, and it's some kind of herb or something, she said. She said it's going to take up this whole rack. These are potatoes. This is a new idea. I try new ideas every year. And I saw this on the internet where they say if you take this, a kiddie pool, and do just like we did, that this sack absorbs water. So you can actually go without watering it, even in a dry spell for a while. You put like 5 or 10 gallons of water in the pool. And so far it's worked. Jeannie's been worried about it drowning the plants, but that hasn't happened. This is the fire pit that I built last year. This is the third year of the garden, and every year I add something new. This was last year's addition, the fire pit, and the greenhouse is this year's addition. But once I got the greenhouse up, I realized that there were several trees. I hate cutting trees. I hate cutting live trees, but I cut this tree because it was casting too much shade, and I built a bench, and the tree is starting to come back. I didn't count on that, but let it happen. And then the other tree is over here that I cut this year, this spring, and this one doesn't seem to be growing back. So this is my latest addition to the never-ending "we don't have enough water out here" problem. We do have a hose that will come out, but it's unwinding the hose, bringing it out, winding it back up, bringing it in. So about every 2 weeks or so, I need to fill up the water again. And so I did this one a little differently. I, of course, built a stand and put the barrel up, but I have a new kind of system to get the water out. And the system is that you put a hand drill right here, turn it on, and I made it so that you can walk away from it, and it will provide a real nice stream, maybe a 20-foot stream of water, so this is year 3. This is our third year. This is year 3 of the garden, the new thing I built. She just planted that, so this is now a new area. That's the hell is it, a plum? This tree right here. But it's a fruit tree anyway, and that's going to grow up. This Jeannie got when she retired. She got it as a gift that we carried out of the restaurant. And of course, now look at it. That's been, what, 8 years ago? This is the first water barrel we put up. And it just blurps out water. It's just gravity fed. The one I put up just recently will shoot a stream 20 feet long. It's just, it's good enough, but I wanted to try the new water barrel idea. And then this year I also put up a rain barrel. I still have to put gutters on the greenhouse, but the gutters are going to run into this rain barrel. I'm pretty sure it still has water in it. So we can always take water from this and use it for watering the garden. So this has a connecting piece right here that will fill up the rain barrel. So we have 55 and 55. It's 110. This is a 40-gallon one. It's 150. We have 150 gallons of water for the garden. And then I keep these open-faced barrels. There's one here, and she just, turns out that it has a lot of tadpoles in it, so she's not going to use it for watering the garden now. That's the big problem when you have an open barrel, is frogs will put their tadpoles in it. And this is another one. So when I bring the hose out, I think I might be up to every 3 weeks now before I have to bring the hose out, but I fill up all of those barrels. And then this is one this is one that I just did this year. It's a barrel that's open on the bottom, and we're just using it to store old hoses. So I'm trying this out for the first time, and then this is what we water with. Of course, this is squash. We have a lot of squash and the overage that we can't eat, using for dog food. And I could explain all that I do for that, but this isn't a dog food video. This is the garden video. This is the garden tools. I built this year, this new compost pile. This is a traditional compost pile. For the previous 2 years, I had compost piles. You can see the ground here. This used to be a pretty large, probably 20 feet by 10 feet. And it's a special kind of compost garden. It composted wood chips and chicken manure and things like that, so that in 1 year it all became soil, and then I just used the soil for the garden. So this is the first year that I've had a traditional, typical compost. And we're constantly needing to have compost space because we get, like most of the squash plant is going to be composted. And we continue to have chicken shit that we use for compost. This is where we basically just sit and shoot the shit or watch the fireflies at night until the bugs start biting us so bad that we have to do something else. And anyway, this is that garden that I'm sure a year from now, in year 4, we're gonna have more changes. I don't know what they are yet, but I pretty much know that as long as I'm healthy enough to be able to build stuff, I'll be adding to the garden. That yellow tag over there is a Japanese beetle trap. We have one over there and one. You can't put it too close to the garden because then it will bring in beetles from everywhere you put it on the edge of your property. This is a couple garden boxes or raised bed boxes that I built. I think it was last year, maybe it was the year before. I wouldn't recommend them though. They're too small. I don't think they get enough air, or they don't get enough something. I mean, I guess they're doing okay this year. What we had planted the first 2 years didn't seem to really thrive. I think this is a melon she has. Another melon. But, lamb's ears, I think they're called. You can actually eat them as a salad. She's made a couple lamb's ears salads out of it. So anyway, this is the garden. All right, bye-bye.